another mongrel build. I know, exciting, isn't it? It is for me anyway, because it's the chance I get to just to play around and faff about and whatever. Right, a couple of things I need to do now. This, let me put that up there. This is my 8-inch pipe, which lines up with that line there, the center of that at least. I think that might be a little bit too long, so I've got to cut it into 7.5 and then at least tack that bar onto this here, and we can start getting one side of the frame trellised up and done. Just to put everyone's mind at ease on how I'm going to get this engine out, because it seems to be a lot of people's worries, and I'm not going to do something which I can't get an engine out. That would just be silly, and I won't even think about it. But as you can see here, everyone's kind of worried about this engine not coming out here. This is the engine. These are the carbs, so these come apart. So the engine height is where that rail is, and we've got the oil pan that goes lower than the frame. What the neat thing about CB650 frames are, exactly the same as the CB750, is on the other side of this frame, that bottom rail here, you can see where it attaches here. This entire bottom section comes out. This whole frame section comes out, which allows the engine to slip out and kind of fall out in that sense. So you don't have to worry about the oil pan base or the depth or how low it goes. That doesn't matter anymore. And with whatever excess height you've got on this engine up here, like this breather section up here, that engine kind of goes down diagonally. Or even if you've got the frame on its own, it's probably easier to actually lift the frame off the engine. But what I have had, and this is really exciting for me, is this. I was so lucky to find this one. I found this off an old CB650 with the actual foot peg brackets, the aluminium foot peg brackets, similar to what you saw me put on the CB750. Rear engine mounting bolts and swing arm bolts as well, and brackets for the same price as one bolt. So this is going to go on straight on there, direct fit, no stress, no bother. And one last final treat. I have these two little water pipes, and this is the water pipe as well. All powder coated, all durable, but what I do like about it is how new and clean it looks compared to the rest of the engine. The rest of the engine's going to remain fairly battered. You can see up here where I've started to polish it. That's probably going to be the level of finish it's going to have. It's about 11 o'clock again, and I'm about to pack up. And I just do one of those things every evening after I've finished working in here. I kind of sit down, sit on my stool, step back and have a look at what I've done, because it's nice. That's the rewarding part of building for me, is actually seeing a progression and seeing how things change. I'm still looking at the mongrel. And I've got no idea what it wants to be. I don't know. Look at it. This is it. It's the most... Oh, to me, it's the craziest thing ever. It's working. I mean, it is really working. We've got these two main pieces of the top frame there. This is then going to be a trellis frame all the way around. That line all the way from the back wheel all the way up to the top is going to be one continuous line. I've decided not to weld that top rail as high up as what I was going to do before. I've welded it a bit lower down, and that brings the tank a bit lower, a bit closer to the carburetors, which is what I want. I have no idea what you want to be. It's just taking it's just taking a life of its own. This is fantastic, because people say that bikes have souls and a life of their own and things, and I do feel a bit like Dr. Frankenstein in that sense, where I'm actually giving life back to a load of bike parts which will probably never ever see the light of day again in a functioning bike. So, bedtime. Same again tomorrow. think I'm gonna call it a day at this moment. I've got one last thing to do, and that is to put all these shocks in place. So the shock brackets are in place. 2 sets of brackets on each side, which means 2 shocks. One's in. I can put the other one in with one hand. They need nuts and washers on each side, but I think we're at a good stage. I like that. So just to take you through what I have done, I have put a trellis frame now at the top, so the top rail is now tacked in place. None of this is properly welded, it's all just tacked, going all around it, which leads to this end section now with 2 horizontal tubes. There is a twin shock system here, which is kind of like a mono shock, but a twin shock way, if that makes any sense. But you can see what I mean from that. But you can see how the force of the swing arm goes up and goes straight through, and I have elevated those up ever so slightly just so that the force is kind of displaced a little bit better. I did start putting a brace from there to there, but then I realized that I was missing the shock mounts and they couldn't be fitted with that brace there, so that's why there's a bit of an ugly tack there, which I need to file down. So there's not that much that needs to be done for the frame left. One quick side that won't take me long at all, a couple of trellis braces there, and that's it. I can get the frame welded up. That is me done for this episode. What I have got coming up as well, ever so exciting, is a girder front fork system. For those of you not familiar with what girder forks are, Google them, they look nice. Really, this is just a bit of fun. Honestly, just a bit of fun. Nothing serious. It's never gonna see a road in its life. I mean, I'd love to take it to the Bonneville Salt Flats just for giggles. So if you like what you see, if you want to stay updated with this, then subscribe. If you want to also stay updated with the Ducati Monster, which is in the back there, that's more the proper build that everyone's kind of tuning in to see. That is a serious build there. Also, follow me on Instagram and visit fortheboatindustries.com if you want to find any merchandise that you might want there. But until next week, or Wednesday, there might be another video on Wednesday. Yes, there will be a video on Wednesday. Until Wednesday's video, see you then.